take me all night long. I got what I want 'cause I got you.
Welcome everybody to Formula 7 Racing. We are live here in Austria for the final time today here in Tier 1. Gale 1038, they are not messing around here. We've got 18 drivers on the grid at the moment. But yeah, good to be back. We've had 3 races already. We are yet to see a safety car today. Maybe Tier 1 can finally give us one. Hopefully not, but we'll see. So I'm just going to set everything up. I hope you've had a good day. I just managed to watch the second half of City versus Chelsea when Tier 4 finished. I did miss the cup final unfortunately because I had to jump into comms for Tier 4, but here we are now. Pro Ultra in the Aston Martin is on a lap. I don't think I've got the standings for these, have I? Just bear with me. Is this... Ah, that's realistic standings, yeah, so it'll take too long to do that. Okie. So some of these drivers are racing in qualifying here. But we are back. It's good to finally be at the end of the day. I'm just trying to work everything out because I fell behind a little bit with the streams. I just want to make sure they're all uploaded. That's the problem, they're not. Tier 4, Tier 2 are still not uploaded to YouTube. So Pro Ultra does invalidate his lap. Deadly in the Williams, just coming around turn 8. And through turn 10. Oh, he kept it valid, but he went a little bit wide there. A 1034 from Deadly, and he goes fastest. Casper is retired. Calls it a day here in Q1. 3 drivers will be eliminated. Fanfinus in the Mercedes. You know, he doesn't say much, Fanfinus, but he turns up every single Sunday at 7 o'clock and races. You can always guarantee Fanfinus is going to be here. I think it's just when he winds down on a Sunday, he just, after a long weekend, he sort of settles in, grabs his wheel and comes racing. He did invalidate the Italian of Mirko. Funny, we had Mirko and CJ leave their seats a couple of weeks ago, and now they're both back on the track for the last 2 weeks actually. Here we go. Yeah, that's fine. Bear with me. Sorry, bear with me, guys. So Mirko 103.4, and then Cars comes through in the Sauber a 103.5. So the Sauber driver, there's a couple more drivers just heading out on laps. B right. Epic OJ retires from P1. B right goes up to P8 a 103.8. Mirko retires the second of the Haas drivers, and there goes Reese. He's fastest in sector 2. Was that Reese? Deadly retires. So a lot of the drivers, 5 minutes to go. CJ in the Williams. And then you've got Priz, you've got Pulse Luxury in that Ferrari. Thanks, Mad G, appreciate it, mate. It gets a bit long, you know, when you do the tier 4 and then tier 1. And then it gets to 7 PM and I'm a bit tired now. But when the action starts, I'll soon perk back up. Pulse Luxury down towards Slash Gold at turn 4. We'll have a look at the sectors. Mirko is the fastest through sector 1, Casper through sector 2, and then Reese through sector 3. Oh, he's pulled over, Pulse Luxury. So CJ did invalidate it. So he's still not got a clean lap on the board here, CJ. This is really bad. Ivan in P7. I know, mate. Real shame you're not going to be there. Pro Ultra is back out. He is definitely at risk here. So is Jinkto and Edward. Both the McLaren drivers. Priz on and out lap in the Aston Martin, and Pulse Luxury going to have to go again. So, still a lot to play for. All the top 7 out early. So here comes Pro Ultra as we ride on board with the Aston Martin as we head up towards turn 1 through the right-hander. And that was a nice line through there actually from Pro Ultra. And in towards turn 3 is 1.5 temps up. That's what we want to see. So out of Slosh Gold at turn 4 and down towards turn 5 at Roch. Through Verve Curve at turn 7 for Pro Ultra riding the apex as we go down towards Rint. At turn 9 Aspect retires as well, both Red Bulls, both Hasses. Through turn 10 at Red Bull Mobile, and then down towards the checkered flag, and Pro Ultra goes P4. That is a great lap. Pulse Luxury will follow him, goes up to P10. Look how competitive this is. Gale is back out, so he's a bad on 4. Jinkto in the McLaren. Prizitsi in the Aston Martin. Could he possibly get into Q2 here in Tier 1? That would be something for the Tier 3 driver. And then you've got CJ in the Williams and Edward both in the pit lane, but he runs wide there, Priz. And it's P17. He goes in front of CJ, who is still yet to put in a decent lap. Edward on his way back out. Jinkto. Global Formula 1 Racing, thank you so much for the follow. So Jinkto in the McLaren just coming around turn 5. He's not on a lap though. A bad on 4 and Gale weaving. A bad on 4 is also not on a lap just yet. Pulse Luxury just on another cooldown lap. B-Right is retired from P11, so he is quite confident that he will be safe in that position. Only 3 drivers will go out here in Q1, so that is interesting. He is taking quite a big gamble here, I would say, because it is not guaranteed, especially when you've got Gale, Abaddon 4, Fanfinish, Jinkto, all to do laps behind him. He's relying on Edward, Priz and CJ essentially not out-qualifying him, which is not, you know, out of the realms. He's probably right, but it's going to be close, especially if CJ pulls off a decent lap. So we shall see, coming out of turn 1 at Ramus. Sorry, Castrol Edge up towards Ramus. And Gale has invalidated it. Abaddon 4 is now on a lap. So we'll see what the Alpine driver can do. Out of Ramus and down towards Sloshgold. He's going to get a little bit of a slipstream from his teammate. And his teammate just easing off to the right hand side. So it will help him for Abaddon 4. Through there, and that was a good set from Abaddon 4, not as good as Pro Ultra. And now through the double right hander at turn 9 and 10. That is nice. Is this enough? It is, up to P10. Pulse Luxury and B right are demoted. Gale doesn't get there. Gale is now at risk of going out. Fanfinus is improving. Jinkto's into the wall. Jinkto is not going to improve. Here comes Fanfinus. Oh no! Fanfinus losing the car coming out of Red Bull Mobile at turn 10. Jinkto has also lost it. Edward, CJ and Priz have all missed the flag. And they are safe, unbelievably. Jinkto and Fanfinus and Gale, who all made mistakes, are all safe. Well, that was lucky. Yeah, Edward, that is unlucky, that. So half a second separate P1 to P13. So Epic OJ is fastest in Q1. I just need to write this down. So bear with me. So Epic OJ, Deadly, Casper Pro, Ultra, Merco, Cars, Reese. Then Ivan, Aspec, Abaddon 4, Pulse, Luxury and Be Right. And then Gale, Fanfinish, Jinkto, Edward, CJ and Priz. Perfect. So Casper is the first driver out on track. So Mirko in P1, Casper in P2, Ivan in P3, then Cars, Gale, Jinto, B right goes up to P5 in that Racing Bull. So 104.2, he was quicker in Q1, but that would have been on fresh tyres. He will be on used at the moment, I would expect. There goes Deadly just weaving through the dust. So Reese is now on a lap. He goes P10 at 108.9, so quite a slow lap. Yeah, strong lap times there, outfit. Sorry mate, I'm just in the middle of discussing something, I do apologise. So Deadly and Aspect are on outlaps, the Red Bull and the Williams driver. Who is going to be first? It's going to be Aspect to set another lap. I don't know whether Reese is going to go for one. He is, so he's on another push lap. So out of turn 8 and down towards the double right-hander. Oh. And Reese. Oh, and he kept it valid. Wow. A 1:04.6 for Reese. He was really pushing there, but only P9. The lap times are really competitive. But we've already seen a lot quicker lap times in Q1. So when these drivers go onto fresh tyres, it will be pretty straightforward with these drivers. They'll start to improve. We've already seen a 1:03.3. Deadly going fastest in Sector 1. And Deadly just sliding into the pit lane. Just under 6 minutes to go. Right, I'm concentrating on the race. So, Epic OJ and Cars, the two Saubers who are fighting for the Constructors' Championship, are on laps. Epic OJ will be first as he comes around turn 7. He's not on a lap yet, but Cars is. He's 1.5 tenths up on his lap time. She's going to get into the 103s. But how far into the 103s? Ivan is already a 103.3. Pulse Luxury a 103.4. They've already set their laps on fresh tyres. Now here comes Cars, the Dutchman. And he slid it around turn 9 and 10. And back into the pit lane he goes. Pulse Luxury has invalidated it. He's going to head into the pits. 4.5 minutes to go here in Q2. 5 big names still in the bottom 5. That's Reese, Jinkto, Fanfnitz, Deadly and Pro Ultra all on the verge of going out. I tell you, whatever way you look at it, there's going to be some huge drivers being eliminated here in Q2. And Austria always provides really close racing in lap times. I'm just wondering if we are going to see anything different here in Tier 1. And just on the billboards there, quick shout out to UEC, the Ultimate Endurance Championship for Assetto Corsa, which we are starting up at the end of May with MSC F1. Well, it's not MSC F1, is it? It's just MSC. Yeah, it's on the billboards, just on the floor there on the track. UEC, Ultimate Endurance Championship for Assetto Corsa. You can come and join that as well. And then we got Le Mans Ultimate every Monday. Starting up next Monday. It will be every single week that now. And then F1 every Sunday, 4 tiers, and Wednesday F2 and F1 as well. A bit of anything for everyone. So Mirko is now on a lap. Casper just in front of it. So the two Haas drivers are out early. They're not messing around. They want to get up and out. Will be to see what the drivers can do here at the Spielberg circuit as we head down in towards Slosh Gold at turn 4. I don't know what the weather is going to be like, but I can see us having a little bit of rain at some point. So still on board with Casper as we head around turn 8 and down towards turn 9. His teammate just behind him. They are currently P3 and P5 in the standings. As we come down to the checkered flag. And it's P2 for Casper. And now Mirko will be next. And he will go P2. A 103.3 for both drivers. All three of the top drivers into the 103.3s. Pro Ultra in the Aston Martin. To the line goes P5. A 103.5. Then the Sauber of Epic OJ will start his final run. Be right in the Racing Bull just behind him. He's been struggling to find that championship winning form. There's a reason why he is a 4-time Tier 1 world champion in 12 seasons. Only 8 of the seasons he's not won. The other 4 he has. Reese Dye is also a former champion. Season 10 world champion. A bad on 4 in the Alpine, then Be Right. Epic OJ just in front of both of them as he comes through turn 7. He's 3.5 tenths up. This is going to be extremely close. A minute to go here in Austria, but it should be all done and dusted beforehand. Deadly with the fastest sector 1 of anybody. That is a bad on 4 that's gone up to P4. Here comes Epic OJ to the line. This is going to be a low 103, a 103.5. Then comes Be Right. In the Racing Bull, he goes a 103.6. This is so close. Reese is well up on his time. A 103.3 for him as well. This is amazing. Deadly and Fanfness. Then you've got the McLaren of Jinkto. Cars in the Sauber is 4 tenths up. Deadly is absolutely flying. Keep your eyes peeled on the Williams driver. He's 1.7 up. He's lighting up the circuit with purple sectors. Look at that, fastest sector 1 and 2, and it's a 103.2. Deadly has just lit up the circuit with 2 purple sectors, and then fastest of anybody. Be Right with a 103.6, unbelievably, is down to P13. This is how close it is. 1/10 of a second separate P2 to P9. Jinkto, Fanfness is improving. The Mercedes driver, but he just eased off the brake pedal. Is that going to doom him? It is. Wow, Epic OJ is only through by 25 1,000ths of a second. Gale is not improving. Jinkto is going to come to the line. The McLaren, a 104.1, and Gale is not going to find it. And Epic OJ is going to make it through by the skin of his teeth. 3 tenths of a second separate the top 12. I mean, that is literally a case of whether or not you touch a curb. That is it. Whether you turn in at the blink of an eye, that is 3 tenths of a second. Amazing. You can spend 1 minute and 3 seconds travelling around a track here in Austria and be separated by the clap of a hand. It is crazy. So Deadly is the fastest by 17 1,000ths of a second. Then comes Ivan with then comes AMS Mirko, 34 1,000ths of a second. Then Restart 83 1,000ths of a second. Then Casper 90 1,000ths of a second. Then Cars 1/10. Abaddon 4 1/10. Aspect 1/10. Pulse Luxury 1/10. Epic OJ 2/10. It is unbelievable. Yeah, Priz, I just said that. Yeah, Pro Ultra 25 1,000ths of a second missed out on Q3. It's crazy. Amazing stuff. That means the race is going to be so good. So Aspect will be the first driver out on track. And he will be the first of the runners here in Q3. Big shout out to Race Director there. You can see on the billboards. Been a godsend since we started working with Race Director, especially in our Discord server. I think, as you all know, especially people that run leagues and stuff like that, it can be quite difficult to get attendance bots and all that sort of stuff and ticketing. And I mean, Race Director for us has just been a game changer in terms of attendance, in terms of moderation and incident reporting and tickets and voting and everything else. It's not my place to share what he's working on now, but if it comes to fruition, if it pays off with what he's doing now, it is a game changer for not just me, but for hundreds of other leagues. If it pays off with what he's working on now, I mean, it's a game changer anyway with what he's done. But if it does turn out the way I think it's going to turn out, it is an absolute game changer. But yeah, big shout out to them. Big shout out to our other partners, Sim Racing Setups. If you are looking for the perfect race setup, go and check them out. They have got 2026 pre-order ones there, so you can pre-order them and get ready for 2026. Use code Formula 7 Racing on checkout. And remember, we do racing every single Sunday, 4 tiers, and then Wednesdays F2 and F1, and then we have Assetto Corsa and Le Mans. So if you are interested, come and join Formula 7 Racing. I'm telling you, you will not find a more dedicated and a better league than Formula 7 Racing, so come and join. Aspect in the Red Bull goes fastest for now. Deadly, a 103.6. Oh. A 107.6. Mirko, 5 place grid penalty for Mirko, a collision with a Abaddon 4. Pulse Luxury, a 103.4. What has happened there? Something has happened. Has any of them got damage? It is. It's Mirko who's crashed into a Abaddon 4. He's got a missing end plate. Has Abaddon 4 got damage? He's got damage as well. He's got a missing end plate. So something big happened there, and one of them's got a 5 place grid penalty. Epic OJ, a 103.1 for the Sauber driver, who is fighting for the championship, fighting for the constructors as well. Casper in the house has invalidated it. Everybody basically said that Racing Bulls had won the constructors when we seen the draw last season for the teams, and Sauber have just sort of put a dampener on that and come in and destroyed any hope of that. Racing Bulls need to do something with the remaining races. Otherwise, Sauber can potentially run away with it. So, if Cars does win it, at least I can send him his trophy that I've still got here from like season 6. Fanfodus, did you get your trophies? You never sent me a picture. And it's like the 3rd time that I've sent you trophies. 2 of them have been sent back. So, Cars up to P4 at 1037. Reese in the Racing Bull is about to get going. Then you got Ivan in the Red Bull. Oh, Ivan sliding around. There's just been so many drivers do that this evening. So Reese in the Racing Bull. We'll jump on board with him and see what he can do. He'll be next. Oh, and it's sliding around then. He keeps it valid. This is going to be quick. It's a 1030. It is unbelievably quick. Wow, 1030 from Reese. What a lap time for the Racing Bull. The Vardinator. I would say I would expect most of them to be using wheel. However, B Wright won 3 of his World Championships on controller here in Tier 1. So I know that some of them do use controller. I mean, I use controller. Well, actually, I went onto wheel last season, which is why I'm absolutely awful. But yeah, a bad on 4 in the Alpine. Let's see what he can do. So around turn 6 and 7, just you can see the way they position their car to the outside so they can dive in. Vardinator, I'm the same, mate. I'm the exact same. In towards Red Bull Mobile at turn 10. The closest I get to a 103 is shouting it out on comms. 1044 for a bad on 4. He loves them 4s, does a bad on 4 with a 1044. Every other driver still in the pit lane with 4 minutes to go. Here we go. So back into the pits for one of the drivers there. And we do have a little bit of movement. That is the Ferrari of Pulse Luxury. So, Pulse Luxury in the Ferrari. Remember, you can go and follow us on SimGrid at Formula 7 Racing. Go and have a look at some of our events over there. Especially if you're on PC, go and check them out. Console, we've only got a Assetto Corsa, but if you're on PC, go and check our SimGrid community out. Oh, so you can see on the billboards there about F7R2. That is our F2 tier on Wednesdays. So, riding on board with Pulse Luxury for a lap here at the Spielberg circuit in Austria. 3 minutes to go before we get going with our racing. Out of turn 1 and up towards turn 2 and 3. So, into the right-hander. towards Slosh Gold at turn 4. And the Scuderia putting in a very neat lap. Hey guys, I do apologise. It's only the one lap. I'm going to take some images just because I want them to post afterwards. So the Ferrari driver coming around the final corner in towards turn 10. Right, that is it now. And to the line, Pulse Luxury. And it was just another cool down lap. So he's now on a flyer. Reese is on another cool down. Well, a sort of another preparation lap, I would say. Yellow flags, and look at this. The Ferrari getting a huge toe there from that Williams, the Racing Bull, sorry, of Reese. So Pulse Luxury will be the first of the final runners as we head towards turn 4. And he's going to put it all on the line. This is it. He's not going to be able to do anything else. Through turn 8. That was pretty neat from Pulse Luxury. He's currently in P3 already. Mirko's gone fastest in Sector 1 of anybody so far. Pulse Luxury runs wide. That is it. He's not going to find any improvement now. Reese Dye shaking that wheel. Here comes the Sauber of Epic OJ to get going. I'll try and get on board with all the drivers. Reese is about to start his lap. Then you've got Aspect on an out lap. Who is that? That is a bad on 4 who's half a second up as he comes through turn 8. He's finding that improvement that he was hoping for. Through turn 9 and 10 we go. The Alpine driver on the limits. To the line, a bad on 4 with a 103.6. Goes in front of Deadly for now. Mirko and Casper. Mirko goes P3, a 103.2. Here comes Casper, the other Haas driver, the man from Sweden. And Casper goes P2, a 103.1. The Sauber of Cars puts it P4, a 103.1. Wow, this is unbelievable. Epic OJ might just get into the 102s. I cannot believe I'm going to say this, but Epic OJ out of turn 10 and down towards the line we go. It's a 102.9. Epic OJ goes provisional pole. Here comes Reese. He's also improving. Reese with a 102.9, but it's only P2. The Ferrari goes into the pit lane. Here comes Thomas Varkish of Aspect to the line. And Aspect goes a 103.3. This is extremely close. Here comes Deadly, a 103.1. And you would think that would be a pole position time. Not here and not in Formula 7 racing. Ivan goes P7 and in front of his teammate. That is it. Epic OJ and Reese Dye, who are 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship, will go 1-2 here in Austria. Casper joins them in P3. Incredible qualifying. So there you have it. Epic OJ is the fastest. Mirko with a 5-place grid penalty. I forgot about that. Epic OJ is fastest in Q3. Then is Reese in P2. Sorry, bear with me. Then Casper, Deadly, Cars, Mirko, Ivan, Aspect, Pulse Luxury, and a bad on 4. And we move on to the race, but that 5-place grid penalty for Mirko is not great. So I am just going to go and grab a drink in 2 seconds. I'm just waiting for the race and the formation to start. I'm going to grab a drink and then we'll be back on. But I just want to say that you can come and join Formula 7 Racing. If you are watching now, ! Discord in the chat. We race 4 times every single Sunday, 10 a.m, 12:30 p.m, 3 p.m, and 7 p.m. That's tiers 1, 2, 3, and 4. We race on a Wednesday, F2 and F1 in realistic. Then we race Mondays in LMU and Fridays in Assetto Corsa. But on a Friday we do fortnightly races. 1 week it's LMU, 1 week it's Assetto Corsa. So we've got something for everybody. Come and join. !Mark Discord in the chat. You win real trophies at the end of every season. If you win a Drivers' Championship, if you win a Constructors, you get a real trophy no matter where you live. We'll send it out to you. We've sent trophies to Sweden, to Denmark, to America, to Canada, to the Netherlands, to South Africa, to India, to Ireland, to the UK. You name it, we've sent it. We've sent... I counted them the other day, and it was something like 112 trophies we've sent out. So, yeah, come and join. Crazy speed difference. It is, mate. It really is. I cannot wait for this race. It's going to be so close. Like, really close. I cannot wait. P1 in Tier 2 would be like P11 in Tier 1. Yeah, I know. It depends. When Malk's on pole, it's a bit different. She's right up there. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to the race. It should be a good race anyway. Not long now anyway. Not long. Remember, we have our podcast coming back. I am working on the podcast, so it's only a matter of time. I think the first episode is going to be in 2 weeks, if I've got that right. And then we are going to be doing sort of monthly podcasts. If we can try and get to fortnightly or weekly, then amazing. But we need to obviously try and get the guests. And the F7R shop will be open very short. It's already open. The F7R shop's open. Somebody's already placed an order. But I haven't got the stock yet. So I didn't want to tell people that it's open and then they pay for something that I haven't got yet. It just doesn't feel right. I am waiting on some stock. It is a limited stock at the moment because obviously you need the funds to buy the stock to then send it out when you get it back. So I have spent quite a bit on a bit of stock. It's good quality. I've gone for a few different suppliers. It is good quality. And obviously I don't want to overcharge you guys because you guys are supporting the league. So it's as cheap as possible as I can make it for the price that I get it. So right, let's go. I need to grab a drink though. So this is the track here in Austria. The track length is 2.683 miles from start to finish. We've got 14 corners and 3 DRS zones. DRS from turn 1 to turn 3 to turn 3 to turn 4 and turn 10 to turn 1. Sorry, 10 corners, not 14. So yeah, that is your circuit here in Austria. I appreciate the offer, Formula Racing League 2025. I appreciate the offer, mate. Potentially, I don't know. Sometimes like 8 PM can be quite a difficult time for me because I have to be up sometimes at 4 AM for work, depending on how long the race is. And Mondays we do Le Mans, and Fridays we sometimes do Assetto Corsa and Le Mans. So it just totally varies, mate. To be honest. But I always like to, if I've got like a free week or something like that, I do like to jump in somewhere and help out at places. So I jumped in for MSC at weekend on last Wednesday when we didn't have a race. Here we go. This is it for round 13 here at Formula 7 Racing, powered by Sim Racing Setups. And it's lights out and away we go. Reese and Epic OJ. There goes cars on Deadly. He's already through as he gives a little bump to the Williams, who goes down the inside of turn 1. Edward is already in front of his teammate. Then you've got the Ferrari and the Alpine squabbling for positions. Abaddon 4 is in front. There goes Deadly again as he goes back through on cars. He'll go up the inside of Ramus on the Haas driver. The Haas turns in, just squeezes in. Then you've got the 2 Red Bulls of Aspect and Ivan. Cars is now back in front of Deadly. CJ's in front of Jinkto. They are all very clustered up as they come through. The 3-time world champion of B-Right is still in P14. Then you've got Abaddon 4 in the Alpine side by side with the Ferrari, and that is Mirko in the Haas that goes off the track and onto the gravel. Gale and Fanfinus go through, and it's a couple of Dutchies fighting it out. Fanfinus and Gale, both from the Netherlands. Here comes Pro Ultra in the Aston Martin. He's now up to P10, and Kars is gaining on Casper in front. So a good start from everybody. Epic OJ is 7 temps clear at the start of this race. And Fanfinus only a tenth behind Pro Ultra. Here he comes. We'll have a look at the reaction times in a minute. So we seen that he got a better start, did Epic OJ. We'll look at the reaction times of the 2 drivers, Epic OJ and Reese. It's not showing up, don't know what's going on there. There goes Cars, fastest first sector. And that is Epic OJ and Reese. Then you've got Casper. And that is Fanfinus in the Mercedes. That is through. B-Right gets through on Gale as well. Down the inside goes the Racing Bull on the Alpine. Mirko trying to make a recovery drive as he goes through on the Aston Martin. Here comes Jinkto and Edward in towards turn 6. One on the mediums, one on the hards. Edward trying to get through on his teammate, and he just leaves him the space as he rides the curb. Dangerous driving, that is. Priz is staying with them. And every single driver still locked in this DRS train. So Epic OJ does lead. Reese in P2 sets the fastest lap. And look at him now with that DRS catching up. Casper is watching on. Then you've got Cars in the other Sauber. This is a real interesting and intriguing battle that we've got on our hands. Here comes Reese on the Sauber driver. It's Epic OJ, and wheel to wheel go the 2 championship contenders. Epic OJ has been overtaken. Here comes Casper. Reese dies in front. Aspect is through on his teammate as Ivan is demoted to P7, but for how long? There goes Epic OJ once again. He'll go later on the brakes around the outside. Side by side go the 2 championship contenders. For the 3rd time this race, there's a yellow flag waving. That is Fanfinus in the Mercedes that has made a mistake in his round. The 2 Red Bulls, there is no team orders in this garage as Ivan and Aspect are going toe to toe here at the Spielberg circuit. Look at this for racing. Nothing to separate them, and Ivan is back in front. Reese Dye has now retaken the lead of this Grand Prix. This is fantastic. This is what we were hoping for. Yellow flags waving. CJ is round in the Williams as he come around turn 9 and 10. Epic OJ and Casper. Casper with a slight mistake. Might have opened up the door for Cars. He has opened up the door. The Swedishman versus the Dutchman as we go up towards turn 3 at Ramus. There goes Epic OJ again up the inside. 2x4 is the... Oh, and that was close as Cars went through. The Saubers are making moves. He does have the inside line now on Reese, and he will go later on the brakes. And Reese will read him like a book. They both like to go later on the brakes. Casper is back front. Cars, he returns the favour. And now here comes Reese up the inside. Look at this. For a view. The 2 Saubers are squabbling for places. Both fighting it out for podium places. And Deadly has a better view than I've got of this battle. What a race we are witnessing. Here comes Casper. He doesn't go for the move on Reese. The aerial shots are absolutely gorgeous. This is what we wanted to see. Austria always delivers. Epic OJ leads in the Sauber. He is P1. Then you've got Reese Dye in P2. Abaddon 4 is making a move as well. He's from Pulse Luxury. Pulse Luxury down to P10. Gets overtaken by Mirko as well. Back on board with the leaders. It is Reese and Epic OJ that fight it out. Once again, we don't know who's going to come out in front. They get their nose ahead. Pulse Luxury is through on Mirko as the Ferrari driver gets in front of the Haas. But for how long? Back comes the Italian driver. And there goes Casper. He's going to make a move as well. And the Haas is through on Epic OJ. And that will delight the Racing Bull driver of Reese in front. Here comes Deadly. He wants an opportunity to take a move now. And up the inside of the Sauber goes the Williams. And Deadly might just have nicked that P4. But can he keep hold of it? The Dutchman is trying to dominate and come back. But he's not able to do it. This is great racing. It is great racing. The two Red Bulls have stopped fighting between them. And they're now starting to catch up. Reese now leads to Casper. There goes Fanfrenes. He's round again. Has he got damage? He hasn't got damage, but he is round again, is Fanfrenes. He is struggling on them tyres. We are yet to see a safety car today, and I hope that hasn't jinxed us. Here comes Casper around the outside. These two know each other quite well from Realistic. There goes Ivan up the inside of the Sauber, and here comes Aspect as well. They're going to go 3 wide. The two Red Bulls and a Sauber. There goes Pro Ultra on B right. Casper is now into the lead of the Grand Prix as we go down in towards Slosh Gold at 2 and 4. Casper goes later on the brakes. He is now leading. There goes B right in the other Racing Bull. He is up to P11 and through on Pro Ultra. And Mirko Bulls Luxury go side by side, and the Ferrari backs out. Mirko is through cars in the Sauber, chasing down Aspect in the Red Bull as they go down in towards turn 7. Oh, Ivan is off. His car just went flicking off to the left hand side, and Casper is into the pit lane. He has gone for a very early pit stop there. A very early pit stop. Reese now leads again to Epic OJ. What is going on? So Aspect lost DRS. Reese leads. Fanfrenes has retired. And he has had an awful Grand Prix here. CJ as well. But who knows? We could still get a safety car. And that is Ivan. A yellow flag. Reese leading to Epic OJ to Deadly, and here comes Aspect and Cars. Cars just backing out there. There goes Gailey on a Pro Ultra. Nothing to separate them as Gailey goes around the outside. And through on the Aston Martin. Epic OJ and Mirko and B Right are into the pit lane. So different strategies in play here. So, sorry, here comes Cars on Aspect. Oh, and into the pit lane. That was a bit of a snap there, wasn't it? Wow. He did well to hold on to that. Deadly stays out in the Williams. So let's have a look at the tyres. That is the tyre situation. Where does B Right come out? Remember, he went for an undercut as well. The strategy is completely different. Gailey's in front of Pulse Luxury. Wow, look at this, and there goes A bad on 4 just in the distance. These two just screwing it out of turn 3. It removes and down towards turn 4 at Slosh Gold. Gailey has got his nose ahead. But for how long? Pulse Luxury will go later on the brakes in that scooter here as he just pushes in wide. And nearly onto the gravel, and Jinkto is watching on. Back comes Gailey into turn 6. Up the inside. This would be a move if he pulled it off. He is going to pull it off. Into turn 7 and 8, and Gailey is through on Pulse Luxury. Deadly into the pit lane. So Deadly now into the pits, so is Edward. That puts a bad on 4 as your race leader. Epic OJ setting the fastest lap of the race. And Mirko on Deadly. Oh, so Williams has come out. The Williams of Deadly has come out in a really good position. Here comes B right. They're going to go 3 wide in towards Ramoose. B right backs out. Probably a safe thing to do, actually, to be honest. And now he's got Aspect on the back of him. Here comes Deadly and Mirko side by side. The Williams has just got the straight line speed and the help of DRS in towards Slosh Gold. And he is through. Here comes Casper on Priz. He'll make light work of the Aston Martin. And Reese is a second and a half behind. And he's got the Aston Martin to contend with. There goes Gailey for the lead of the Grand Prix. A bad on 4 in the other Alpine has swapped places and let him go through. That is Pulse Luxury into the pit lane. Maybe a strategic call from the Alpines. Priz also into the pits, which helps Reese to get through. Trying to figure out where everybody's up to. So Gailey to a bad on 4. The Alpines lead here in Austria. So the only DNF is Fanfinus. And that is Ivan through on CJ and Priz. A little double overtake there from the Croatian. Can he keep it? He absolutely can. And that is how it's done. Ivan, a very consistent driver, I would say. I think that is a fair reflection of his driving style. He's had 3 podiums this season and he hasn't started in the top 3 in one of them races. So that just goes to show. Mirko with the fastest lap in the Haas. And that is Reese through on Epic OJ. Wow! Where did that come from? The 2 provisional leaders who are a second and a half behind Casper, fighting with each other, and Epic OJ has been overtaken by Reese. Let's just have a look at the tyres. Epic OJ's tyres are 1 lap older than Reese. Deadly's in a strong position. Pro Ultra, Jinkto, bad on 4, and Gailey yet to pit. Some of them potentially going for that 1-stopper. So they'll be looking at defending this position, especially the likes of Pro Ultra. And Jinkto on the hards. The Alpine just staying to the right hand side. Nicely done from a bad on 4. Gailey stays out. Reese with another fastest lap. How we doing, Kylan? You okay? 13 laps done and dusted. Oh, and that's another time penalty for Priz, who's struggling with track limits here. There goes Edward on a bad on 4. These two know each other quite well, but that won't stop them from battling each other as we go down into our Slosh Gold. He's going to go later on the brakes. He absolutely is. A bad on 4 is through, and Edward is going to try the old switcheroo as we come out of turn 5 down in towards turn 6. He can't pull it off, but it was very close. And Edward now back behind a bad on 4. A great driver, always races in tier 1 even though he's not a tier 1 driver, but he does it just to be on the grid, so fair play to him. Casper is right up to Pro Ultra now. Here we go into the slipstream. He'll move over to the left. He is squeezed. And here comes Reese in the Racing Bull. A little lock up from the Haas. What about Epic OJ? Yeah, he gets a good exit. Deadly is following them. Deadly's got the freshest tyres. Pro Ultra in the Aston Martin. Epic OJ, Reese. Casper now 1.2 behind Jinkto. One step remaining, can't wait. Yeah, neither can I, mate. Neither can I. There goes Deadly on Pro Ultra. And Mirko as well. Is Pro Ultra starting to struggle on them tyres? What? Well, he doesn't share it, so I don't know what they're on. Here comes Aspect as well. And the Red Bull is through. Pro Ultra will go into the pit lane. Whoa, that was close. Aspect picking up a track limit. And B right nearly crashing into the back of him. Gale is also into the pit lane. Here comes Casper. The McLaren now leads on them hard compound tyres. And here comes Casper. A safety car now would be a godsend for Jinkto. Through goes Reese. And Epic OJ will also try and go through. And Jinkto will slot into P4. There goes Deadly. And he'll open that rear wing. But I don't know if he'll get past the McLaren on this attempt. No, he won't. But he'll be a lot quicker than him. Coming out of turn 5. And he does disperse off that papaya quite quickly. And he'll like the fact that McLaren is in front of the Haas behind. It gives these a little bit of leeway to just run away slightly. There goes Mirko now as well. And Aspect. Oh, and Jinkto running wide there and picking up a penalty. And here comes Aspect. And B right. Aspect in the Red Bull. A sprint race down in towards turn 1 at the Castrol Edge. Reese will have DRS on Casper. And a little lock up, and there goes B right. That is through on the McLaren, and Cars will follow him. B right will just be looking at finishing in front of Cars in that Sauber, especially if they still want this Constructors' Championship. Gale's back through on a bad on 4. And the top 4 are separated by less than a second, by the way, after 16 laps of racing. So Jinto into the pit lane. Casper still leading to Reese. How many penalties does Priz have? 15 seconds. So Casper leading to Reese to Deadly. Wait, what happened to Epic OJ? Oh, he pitted. Epic OJ is pitted. Wow. He's gone for a big undercut here. So Epic OJ throw on Casper as he goes into the pit lane. A bad on 4 back throw on Gale. Deadly 1/10 behind Reese as CJ picks up a penalty. And Kaz is going to go into the pit lane. Yeah, he stays to the right hand side and B right as well. And Reese goes into the pit lane. The Racing Bulls are double stacking. This is going to cost him time, surely. Maybe no communication there, or they have spoken and they're going to time it to perfection. No, he's not. He's going to hold him up. Not that much. Maybe lost 2 seconds. So they did time it quite well. But there, look, he just gets held up a little bit. So now he comes out behind Kaz. Edward is through. Gale's back through on his teammate. The Alpines are just swapping places. Oh, that is a yellow flag. Oh, that is a driver. That is CJ again. So Deadly and Asper in the pits. Pulse Luxury will stay out. Gale as well. And a bad on 4 will return to where they were before the pit stops. So Epic OJ, remember he went for the undercut. He went for a big undercut actually. And he's come out 2 seconds in front of Casper. Here comes Reese in the Racing Bull going up the inside of the Haas driver. Casper now down to P6, but for how long? If these two continue to fight, this is great news for Epic OJ. There goes Cars on Edward. And B right around 2 seconds behind after double stacking in the pits. So we're right on board with Casper, see what he can do. On the championship leader, yellow flag again, that is CJ again. And at this point, it's not going well for CJ. And he spun it going into the pits actually. $15 laps to go. So you can see the laps. You can see the last couple of laps between the 3 drivers. Oh, should we have a look at Reese, Epic OJ and Casper? You can see the lap times for these guys. So 1.2 is the gap from Epic OJ to Reese. It's going to be so close when it comes to the end of this race. There goes B right on Epic. On Edward. And there goes Cars on Jinto. So a couple of trades going on at the back of the field. And then Deadly is through on Mirko. Have a look at the battery deployment of the drivers. And Pro Ultra on Edward. The Aston Martin with the McLaren. Just getting his nose ahead as we go down in towards turn 6 at the left-hander. And the Aston Martin driver later on the brake pedal. And into P13. Priz picking up another time penalty. He's stacking them up now. Mirko's going to get DRS and he's going to have a bit more battery. Carl's picking up a time penalty. That would put B right back in front of him. That is massive in terms of the Constructors' Championship. So here comes Mirko. You can see him deploying. And Deadly now recharging, but he's also got that rear wing open. But he's too far away, and there goes Reese and Epic OJ once again. CJ picking up another track limit. Here comes Reese in the Racing Bull, and the lead changes hand. Gale is now your race leader, the Ferrari, with a big snap. There goes a bad on 4. Here comes Epic OJ again. Him and Reese going at it. You've got Casper watching on. Deadly back behind Mirko. It is great racing, I must admit. Oh, he took a big chunk of that, and Priz, this is getting a bit silly now. 24 seconds for Priz. I do apologise, guys. I'm going to have to nip to the toilet, so please bear with me. Sorry about that, guys. Right, safety car is out. So Priz has crashed. And the safety car is out.
Sorry about that, guys. Right.
Sorry, I was watching it on my phone. I do apologise. I was on the toilet. And that is CJ off the track. So the safety car should be in at the end of this lap. It is Reese that leads. So you can see the tyres there. Safety car is in this lap. So Reese will get us underway here in Austria for the final 9 laps, 8 laps. Here goes Casper, Aspet and Cars, all with time penalties. There goes a bad on 4 through an Epic OJ. That is not what he wanted. And some of the drivers were on intermediates. This is incredible. Wow. It's raining. It is raining here in Austria and some of the drivers have decided to go on to intermediates. Then you've got Gaylay. Oh, he goes late on the brakes and smashes into the drivers. It's the Haas driver that is round and Mirko. Oh, he's reversed onto the track. What is Casper doing? There's no ghosting. And he's reversed right onto the track in front of everybody. Oh, an Epic OJ on the intermediates. He's fighting with a bad on 4 on the hards. A bad on 4 is back through. The mediums of Jinkto. Epic OJ needs to be careful. If the rain continues to fall, he will win this race, but he needs to be careful not to get involved in a collision. And I tell you what, Epic OJ, Deadly Merc, and be right in the Racing Bull. We're all in great positions. So, what is going on here? Some of the drivers have stayed out until the end of this race. It's a long way to go. Well, it's the only saving grace here is that it's Austria and the laps are very short. Casper is into the pit lane. That is it for Casper. He's retired. And unfortunately for him, he might have took a few people with him. Casper, Ivan got away with no damage. That is Gaylay on Pro Ultra. Gaylay on the medium compound tyres. Here comes Jinkto in the McLaren. This is unbelievable. Jinkto goes down the inside of a bad on 4. There goes the Alpine and the McLaren. Epic OJ has lost 2.5 seconds, so it is not intermediate tyre weather just yet. We need to keep an eye on these. Look at the rears already. Because it's not raining, they're starting to burn out pretty quickly. Yellow flag again. And the drivers on the hard compounds and the medium compounds are pretty safe at the moment. And they're still pulling away from the intermediates. That is CJ still struggling at the back. It is drama time. Here comes Pulse Luxury on Aspect. Pulse Luxury in the Ferrari will go around the outside of the Red Bull. Jinkto will make a move up the inside of Cars. Aspect comes back. This is for P2. And Pulse Luxury made a mistake. So Pulse Luxury made a mistake. Here comes Cars. Is he going to go for that late lunge? He's not. Reese is 1.6 clear. The championship leader is finding more. Here comes a bad on 4 on Cars. They are now 3.7 clear of the intermediate runners. The rain is just not falling the way they would have hoped. He gives him a little nudge, does Cars. Puts a bad on 4 into the gravel. Very lucky that he saved that. The rain is still falling, but it's just not heavy. There goes Gaylay in the Alpine. Cars picks up another track limit. Some of the drivers took a risk and pitted, some stayed out. And the gamble is paying off for the dry runners at the moment, and they're running out of laps, are the intermediate runners. They're running out of racetrack. Pulse Luxury will go around the outside of Aspect again. The Ferrari is through. Cars and a Baton 4 are going at it. Epic OJ is not catching up just yet. The rain needs to get heavier for these intermediates to pay off. I think we're going to lose the time here. We're not going to get it. And Epic OJ, he took the gamble, but it's just not going to pay off. It is getting a little bit darker. The rain is getting a little bit heavier. You can see it starting to bounce off the track. Potentially, the crossover point is going to be right at the end of this race. Look at it. He's starting to catch up. The gap's gone from 3 to 2 seconds. It's going to change. So late in the race, it's going to change. Who knows what is going to happen here? Yes, the rain is falling. It's falling extremely heavy now. 1.9 is the gap. 3 laps to go, including this one. 4. Jinkto is catching Aspect. DRS is still enabled. Pulse Luxury is catching up to Reese Dye. We know that Pulse Luxury is a master in the rain. And he's showing it once again here at the Spielberg circuit. Mirko and B-Right are going at it. B-Right knows if he gets in front of Mirko and he does catch the dry runners, he's potentially on for a podium. Jinkto up the inside of Aspect. B-Right is back through. The Racing Bull around the outside of the Italian driver in the house, and B-Right is up to P9. Potentially provisional podium area. There goes Epic OJ. Cars has led him through. There goes Deadly as well. And the dry runners are starting to struggle. The rain is bouncing off this circuit. Aspect and Jinkto fighting for a podium position. Pulse Luxury is only 2 tenths behind Reese Dye. Here he comes into the slipstream. Pulse Luxury for the lead of the Grand Prix. Aspect is through, and a Baton 4 on Jinkto. Down in towards Castrol Edge at turn 1. DRS is still enabled. Here comes Pulse Luxury in the Ferrari. Down in towards Ramus at turn 3. The Ferrari is now your race leader. It is still continuing to rain. And the intermediate tyres are now the tyre of choice. The hard runners are really struggling in the rain, and they are all being caught. And B-Right doesn't have a time penalty. He is on for a podium here. Here goes Epic OJ later on the brakes. He's through on Aspect. Deadly is also through. Look at them. They are struggling. Reese and Pulse Luxury have got a 3.5 second buffer. The chase is on. B-Right has been overtaken. The Racing Bull is through on cars. The Sauber driver doing everything to hold up that Racing Bull. He's got no penalties, has B-Right. He's on for a podium. Here comes Epic OJ on a Baton 4. We've got 2 laps of racing to go. Is it going to be a little too late? Look at the dry runners. They are slipping and sliding. Epic OJ is in his element. DRS is disabled. We head up towards Castrol Edge at turn 1. They are tracking them down. Here comes B-Right. Here comes Mirko. And the dry runners are struggling. The intermediates are definitely the tyre choice now. Epic OJ and a Baton 4. They're still 3 seconds behind Reese and Pulse Luxury. And there goes Deadly. Through the eye of a needle. What a move that was from the Williams. Mirko on Aspect around the outside. The dry runners took the gamble, but they went a little too early. 1.5 laps remaining. Here comes the Racing Bull of B-Right on Aspect. Down in towards Schloss Gold at turn 4. Goes later on the brakes. He's up to P7 with no time penalties. Just bear that in mind. That would put him up to P6. But we've still got a full lap of racing. Deadly is catching up to Reese. So is Epic OJ. Pulse Luxury, the master in the rain, might just hold on. Edward is through on Jinkto. Can Pulse Luxury do the impossible? Around turn 9 and 10, Deadly and Epic OJ are catching up to Reese with every single inch of this track. Pro Ultra and Aspect And here comes Edward on the intermediates. He is through as well. A bad on 4 is round. A bad on 4 is round. Oh my God, he's nearly took out half the grid. A bad on 4. What is going on? And here comes Deadly on Reese. The Williams on the Racing Bull. And Epic OJ is championship rival. Pulse Luxury is 2.4 seconds in the distance, but they are really, really struggling on the dry compound tyres, and through goes Epic OJ. Here comes Mirko and B right there, a little bit too far behind Pro Ultra and Edward. Edward is through. The McLaren driver is up to P7. And I tell you what, Pulse Luxury might just hold on here. They are slipping and sliding everywhere. Can they hold on? Look at it. They are running out. It's not enough. The rain has come too soon. And Deadly is going to take the lead of this Grand Prix. Pulse Luxury has done an amazing job, but it's too much of an ask. And Pulse Luxury might just stay on for a podium. Here comes B Right on Reese. And I think B Right is going to slow down. He's going to let Reese keep the position. Deadly is going to come through. And Deadly is going to win the Austrian Grand Prix. Epic OJ takes P2. And unbelievably, Pulse Luxury takes P3. B Right stays behind Reese with his championship battle. Wow. What an end to this race. So, Bad on 4 has a puncher and no front wing. He went too long on them hards. That was a great ending to the race. So there you have it on the top step. So let's go through. It is Deadly that takes the race victory. And it is, let me just put this down, Epic OJ in P2 and Pulse Luxury in P3. It is Reese in P4 and B Right in P5. Then comes Mirko, Ivan, Edward, Aspect, Pro Ultra, Jinkto, Cars, Gale, a bad on 4, who retired in the end. No, he didn't retire, did he? Then CJ, Casper, Priz and Fanfinus. The driver of the day. I could give it to a few people. I could give it to Deadly. I could give it to Pulse. I think Pulse actually drove a blinder of a race. I could give it to B Right. Edward. What a drive from Edward. I mean, I'm going to have to give it Pulse, I think. P8 onto the podium. Did a really good job on them dry tyres at the end. Wow, what a race that was. It was a really good race. I am shattered. Right, okie dokie. Right, that is it, guys. I'm going to shoot off. Short. That was a really enjoyable race, actually. A really enjoyable race. I'm really thrilling right at the end, but I've got so much to post and I've got to be up really early, so yeah. Thank you all so much, guys. I appreciate all the support throughout the day. It's always amazing to get the support that we get from you guys, and I hope you've all enjoyed the day of racing. We will be back on Wednesday for Realistic. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for supporting. Well done to all of the drivers, well done to the commentators, the admins and the stewards and all of the team for another great day of racing, well organised and well executed. And we will see you all on Wednesday. Take care, everybody.